let us start at 6:05. We'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start. Also, guys, we do not want it to be a session wherein I only speak and you will follow. So do try to unmute yourself, do try to speak, ask any question, whichever you have, and let's get the most out of this session, okay? Okay, so someone wants recording permission. Manas, just we'll share with you the recording. We are recording already. Don't waste your bandwidth. We'll share it on YouTube and we'll share the link with you. Okay, great. So many of you wanting to become data scientists. That is great to know. So, okay, let us at least start and let us start having some uh, know-hows about each other. So first of all, thank you guys for attending this session. It's great to know that you are motivated and you are taking steps to get a good career in the emerging field like data science. So first, something about myself. So you must already be knowing because it was there in your email, it was there on Instagram, and I saw a lot of you are coming from Instagram. So you already know that I'm working in Moonshot. What is Moonshot? That also I'll tell you. But first, something about myself. Myself is Tanmay Pandya, and I have like 7 years of experience in data science field, and I had done my bachelor's from IIT Bombay. Okay, so this is what you would like to know about me, and going forward, I'll again I'll explain you how can you know more about your dream career through just generating a bit of data. Okay, so let's go ahead. First of all, how many of you are currently in college and how many of you are doing job? Can you unmute yourself and tell me? You can write it on chat.
Yeah, I'm a graduate.
You have graduated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking to start a career in data science as well. Starting from zero to, yeah.
Okay, you are looking to start a career in data science. Prabhu is a student. Any more students here? Okay, we have some more students coming up. Okay, great. Okay. Manas, may I know where are you working right now?
I'm working in Wipro as a project engineer, Tanmay.
Great, Manas. Great. That's great. So we have a mix of students and working professionals. Okay, so let us jump into the agenda of this webinar. Amarjeet is also there. Amarjeet, may I know where are you working right now? Hello, Amarjeet, can you hear me? Amarjeet is an entity. Great. Great to know. Great to know, guys. Great to meet you here. So let's go to our agenda of this session. So, okay, going forward. Well, why data science? You are here. We are discussing a lot of, we'll be discussing a lot about data science, but why data science? Why do you want to pursue data science? Can anybody answer? Guys, please unmute yourself. Feel free to say whatever you think is correct. It's not like we are having a session जहाँ पे कुछ गलत है, कुछ सही है, and you will be penalized for wrong answers. Nothing like that. Feel free and speak as much as you can.
Yeah, data science is going to be the next. It's growing technology.
It's a growing technology. Okay.
It's going to be in a peak where everyone should know as a data skill.
Okay. So basically, you are saying that it's a growing field, and we are seeing many jobs coming up in the field.
Yes. Yeah.
Any more inputs? Any more inputs, guys? Why you want to pursue data science?
To connect the dots of business problem.
Okay, that is a great answer. To connect the dots of business problems. But why do you think data science will be able to make you, or will be able to get you in a position so that you can easily connect the dots? Anyone else can also answer. It's not only that Amarjeet can answer. By the way, guys, all of you are comfortable with English, और आप मुझे हिंदी में बोलना चाहते हैं? Feel free to tell me. अपन सब एक ही जगह से हैं, so we can speak in whatever language you want me to.
English.
Okay. There are 2 for English. One Bhanu wants me to speak in English.
Whatever
I think.
you want.
Okay, whatever I
English,
want.
sir.
English. Okay. Any language is fine. So, hi Bhanu. मैं आपको हिंदी में भी साथ में लेकर चलता रहूंगा, ठीक है? So, okay, great guys. So now coming back to my question. क्यों data science? क्यों? Why do you want to go into data science? One thing was, a very good answer was to connect the dots. A brilliant answer. But at the same point of time, why do you think, मतलब data science में ऐसा आपको क्या पढ़ने को मिलेगा कि आप connect कर पाओगे dots?
It's basically studying all the data of companies regarding different fields. Okay.
Yeah, big data is also going to play a major role in data science as well. So I think data science can be important nowadays.
Okay. What is big data, by the way?
Big data, it's comprises of all machine data, business data, and people-generated data.
Okay.
Where the world is comprised of all of data.
Okay, that is great. But guys, with all of you here, we are talking about big data, but how did it become big? When did it become big? Suddenly, now we are saying that it's a big data, right?
Yeah.
Before we were just telling it as data. Am I correct? पहले हम लोग सिर्फ बोलते थे data analysis करना है. But now suddenly it became big data, right?
Yeah.
So why data science? So let's go and see why we want to pursue data science, or let's see why you can pursue data science. So one of the reason is that nowadays we are generating a lot of data. Everyone agrees with me on this?
Yes.
That we are generating data like never before. So there was a study, एक study थी जिसमें ये बताया गया था कि we are generating so much data nowadays that the data we generate in 1 month now, it used to be generated in years, like some 10 years before. So जितना data आपने 10 साल पहले तक generate किया था पूरी दुनिया में, now you are generating that much of data per month, right? We are generating data everywhere. So ये तो एक चीज हो गई कि we are generating data everywhere. Okay. Now the second thing is data backed decisions are helping companies in improving their profits. Okay. So जो एक बात की गई थी connecting the dots, right? So because the people are able to connect the dots, they are helping in that, by doing that process, they are helping companies in improving their profits. So it could also be like reducing the cost or increasing the profit margins, in those ways, in efficiency in the operation, in these ways, basically, these guys are helping companies in improving their profits. Okay. But the issue is that very few people are actually available who can make sense out of large data sets. So why big data? That is clear here, because we are generating data like never before, and because we are generating data in months which used to be generated in years before. Okay, so that is why data become big data. But why data science? It's because very few people are able to make sense of this big data. आपके आसपास भी आपने सुना होगा डेटा साइंस का एक अलग ही चार्म है अभी, राइट?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is that? Again, the same thing, that very few people are able to do it. Now, if very few people are able to do it, then we come to the third point, that because there is deficiency in the market, companies are ready to pay you big. Okay, so big data also corresponds to big salaries. So that is also a motivation for data science. Is it or is it not?
What you say is right. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so that is also a motivation, right? You don't want to struggle a lot, learn a lot, and after that not getting paid well, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So because of this, you want to pursue data science. Any other pointers from you guys? मैंने तो आपको इतना सारा कुछ बता दिया, but any other pointers from you guys because of which you want to pursue data science? No?
The main reason is that, sir, buzzword of data science is there.
Buzzword.
Market.
बट बज़वर्ड में बोलो आप मुझे कि बज़वर्ड तो एक्टिंग के बारे में भी होता है, तो डेटा साइंस में क्यों आ गया?
नो
हाँ, बोलिए
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि जो एस्पायर होते हैं, मतलब कि बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जो इसको फाइनल स्टेज तक ले जाते हैं. एस्पायरिंग करने वाले बहुत लोग होते हैं.
Correct.
मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि एस्पायरिंग वाले जो लोग होते हैं वो बज़वर्ड के कारण अट्रैक्ट होते हैं.
एस्पायरिंग वाले जो लोग होते हैं, means basically what you are saying is there is a huge aspiration to become data scientist because of the buzz. So that you are correct, absolutely correct. And anything which creates a buzz, basically उसमें लोग attract होते हैं हमेशा, right? But at the same point of time, a very interesting case made by you is that बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जो कि इसे end तक लेके जा पाते हैं. Okay. And I think that is also because that is also why, because you are here, right? You want to understand how to take it till the end. Yes. Okay. Yes. So great. So now we have understood the motivation behind becoming a data scientist. Going forward, some of the statistics which I would like to focus on the data scientist front itself. So one is that data scientist is one of the most in-demand job in 2020. Again, the same thing. There is a lot of data, but very few people can make sense out of it. The second one is India is the second prominent hub for data science jobs. We are only second to USA. There is no other country in the world which have more jobs than us apart from USA. More than 50,000 jobs are listed already. So go down because you are interested, because you are motivated towards data science. So always follow a data related approach, data based approach. So don't just believe on my words. Go down, go on Naukri.com, go on LinkedIn and search for data related jobs. You will find a lot of them. Okay. Now there was a study which says that by 2026, the number of such jobs are expected to explode to 11 millions. 11 millions. Millions को कोई करोड़ में convert करना चाहता है?
1.1 crore.
1.1 crore, man. Right? That is huge, right?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Yes, right. So that is huge. We have such a demand for data science. So why not become one? Okay. And then for all my fresher friends who are here, all the college students who are here, the average starting CTC of 6 to 7 lakhs and unparalleled job growth. So this is a very important point. मैं एक जॉब स्टार्ट में बहुत अच्छा ले लूंगा, दैट इज ओके, बट दिस इज नॉट द ओनली जॉब आई वांट टू डू इन माय लाइफ. I want to grow, right? So that is where it makes more sense that you choose data science. Okay. So any doubt till now on why to choose data science? Why to learn data science? Why to become and why to aspire to become a data scientist?
No,
Excuse me.
Okay. No? Sure? कोई भी है जिसको कुछ भी डाउट हो?
So basically, I want to be an AI developer, but someone told me that before be an AI developer, you should learn data science. Can you please clear this?
AI developer and data science. So, okay, I'll go in that details as well. So currently, do you have any doubt related to why to become a data scientist?
Yeah.
What doubts do you
Because
have?
I want to be the AI developer.
You want to be a developer. Okay, that is great. Okay, so we'll go forward and we'll see how to become one. Okay, so till now we have understood that why means why there is so much buzz about data scientists, data science, and what are the opportunities lies for a data scientist, right?
Yes.
Now, great. But who is a data scientist? Are they aliens? Can you answer this?
no.
No, right?
No.
They are also humans, just like you and me. And this is just an Alienware, expensive Alienware laptop. So don't confuse data scientists with aliens. And because they are not aliens, which basically means that you and I can also become a great data scientist. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So who are data scientists? So I'll just draw a simple Venn diagram, which basically gives you a brief idea that who is a data scientist. Okay. So what all of you are familiar with Venn diagram, or do you want me to explain it? Guys, Venn diagram सबको पता है, सेट थ्योरी पे तो नहीं जा रहे हैं अपन.
Yes.
Venn
yes.
diagram.
Venn diagram सबको पता है. जिसको नहीं भी पता वो ये समझ लो कि ये पहला सर्कल, ये दूसरा सर्कल, ये तीसरा सर्कल. And basically wherever they are overlapping, they are creating a mix of both these skills. Okay. So first one circle is analytical skills. What do you mean by analytical skills?
Like having a mathematical skill in
Statistical knowledge, in inference knowledge.
Okay, statistical knowledge, inferential knowledge. Apart from that, anything?
Mathematical skills.
Mathematical skills. Okay. More than that, something else.
Like out of box thinking.
Out of the box thinking. Okay.
Probabilistic thinking.
Probabilistic thinking. Okay, great.
Ability to question.
Ability to question. And one of the keyword which I think there is some disturbance from somebody else's computer. Anyway, so one of the keyword for which I was looking, I got it on my chat box. That is problem solving. Okay, that is one part, problem solving, but I may or may not solve my problem with help of data, right? So again, going back to analytical skills. Till now you told me maths, till now you have told me problem solving, out of box thinking. But again, there is one very good thing about analytical skills. What is that? No?
It's like understanding the problem.
Understanding the problem. I think that is a basic requirement for any kind of problem, right? Not only for data scientists. Yeah. So analytical skills. कोई बताना चाहेगा मुझे एनालिटिकल स्किल्स वेरी बेसिक टर्म्स में कि क्या होता है एनालिटिकल स्किल्स? So okay, you told me about maths.
Data analysis, basically that what a user is want to see and so.
Okay, again you are going a bit ahead, but I would say that any analytical skills basically means making sense out of the data.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
आपको जब एनालिटिकल स्किल्स के क्वेश्चन आते हैं प्लेसमेंट में, what they do, they put a table, then they ask you questions. So that was analytical skills, right? Data interpretation, logical reasoning, analytical problems, these kind of problems were analytical problems, right?
Yes.
What you were doing there, you were just making sense out of the data. Correct?
Yeah.
So this is the first one, that you need to get yourself prepared and you need to hone your analytical skills. Now, second circle is programming knowledge. What is programming knowledge?
Programming language is like in R as well as in Python.
Programming knowledge is in R as well as Python. So I would say yes. It's kind of a coding knowledge. And again, going back to the basics, I would say that programming knowledge basically means that how to communicate and how to interact with the machine. Correct?
Yeah.
Right? I may do it in R, I may do it in Python. I may also do it in Excel, right? I don't need to go till Python at first. Am I correct?
Yes.
You are correct. Yeah.
Yes. Now the third circle, and I have kept it on the top for a reason, that you need to know the domain knowledge. You need to have the domain knowledge. Why is that? Can anybody tell me why is that? Anyone, guys? Business domain knowledge क्यों जरूरी है?
Without domain knowledge, we cannot interpret the business problem.
Very good. So I might have very good analytical skills. I might be a very good coder, but if I don't know what business KPIs are, what business metrics are, then I'll not be able to make sense of the problem, and then I'll not be able to provide a solution.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is why when you are aspiring to become a data scientist, it's very crucial that you solve some of the case studies. Why case studies? Because if you are becoming a data scientist in, let's say, a marketing firm, and if you are becoming a data scientist in a retail firm, it will be basically imparting a huge difference. आपके marketing के KPIs बिल्कुल अलग हो जाएंगे retail के KPIs से. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is also one of the reasons. Okay. So now, first of all, we have understood that data scientists are not aliens, right?
Yes.
They are humans,
Yes.
just like
Yeah.
you and me, and thus we can also become a data scientist. At the same point of time, we understood that who basically is a data scientist. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the question comes that, okay, till now everything is clear, and I also want to become a data scientist, but how? अगर आपको ये क्वेश्चन आता है तो आप कैसे आंसर कर सकते हो?
Learning from online courses or something, going to an institute to learn.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if you have the answer, then basically why you are attending this session?
No.
If you have this answer,
Yeah.
then why are you attending this session?
No.
Be
Before
very
that, you are
frank.
No, sir,
Basically,
before you speak in Hindi, I can't able to understand the Hindi, so that's why.
That is completely fine. I'll speak in English as well.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking is that you have answered that how to become a data scientist, right? That you
Yeah.
want to do some online courses, you want to understand the business problems. Okay. But if you already know the answer, then why you are attending this session?
while aspiring to data science, there is a lot of anxieties, and you need to discuss with the data science professionals.
Okay.
That's why I
Okay. So at the same point of time, I'll give some more insights.
Yeah.
That means you can go right now and you can Google it, that how to become a data scientist, right? And there will be a zillions of pages telling you the same, right?
Yeah.
Vijay, I think there is my voice is coming back from your device. So when you want to ask question, do unmute yourself, but just keep it on mute when others are discussing. Avinash, can you hear me now? Avinash?
Hi, I can hear you, but the voice is like some.
Yeah, there was some glitch in between.
Correct.
But I think now it is clear, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So again, as somebody said, that there is so much anxiety while becoming a data scientist. So I think that anxiety is because of the overwhelming nature of this industry.
Yes.
And why is that? That also will understand in the next slide. So these are basically the requirements for a great career in data science. Okay. So again, as we saw, the three circles which are intersecting to form a Venn diagram. Just to clarify that a great data scientist lies over here. Okay. You might find some data scientists who are in the intersection of just two circles, but actually a great data scientist lies in the intersection of all three circles. Okay, so going forward, what are the requirements for a great career in data science? So again, as we saw, analytical skills. So first, what I have written?
Data fluency.
Data fluency. What does it mean? Anyone, guys?
It's a new word, I think so. It's new to me.
It's a new word. Okay, what is English fluency?
One who masters in English or one who is fluent in English.
I think
Okay.
it should be like the data should be smoothly flowing kind of thing.
No. So as he said that one who is who is a master in English or one who is fluent in English. So I'll not focus on the first part, that one who is a master in English, but I'll definitely focus on the second part, that one who is fluent in English. So what data fluency means, that you should know how the data is flowing from one process to the other. You might not be able to do any analysis on it, okay, but you should know that how the data is flowing from one process to the other process. So what do I mean by that is that like you are seeing an e-commerce company. What all are e-commerce companies?
Amazon, Flipkart.
Amazon, Flipkart. Any more? Any more? Yeah, many more, right? Can you give me an example?
Myntra,
Myntra. Even your Grofers is basically a
Grofers.
e-commerce company, right?
Yes.
Correct. So there are many e-commerce companies. Big Basket, Manas said Big Basket, correct. So Big Basket is also an e-commerce company.
Dunzo.
So Dunzo is not an e-commerce company. Dunzo is basically a logistics company.
Yeah.
Okay. So this kind of things you should understand. At the same point of time, what I mean by data fluency is that you should understand that how the data is flowing. What do again I mean by that is that if a person is buying something on e-commerce website, then how his information is flowing? How is he placing the order? How is he retrieving the order information? How the order is getting delivered, and how the order is first going to the supplier side. Then how the logistic team is working on that order, and how finally the order is getting delivered. A big process, like, right?
Yeah.
Right? And it involves a lot of data. Amazon is using a lot of data. So these kind of fluency. So I directly went to the e-commerce example. I could go to a very small example, right? Like your mobile apps, like you might be having Spotify on your phone. Spotify ho gaya, Gaana.com ho gaya. Listening to music or not?
Yeah.
You are, right? So while using your mobile apps, again, you are generating a lot of data, right? Okay. So that is also part of data fluency. Okay. So this is the first part which comes in analytical skills, that you should understand that how the data is moving from one process to the other on a basic level, but then too you should understand. Clear till now? Guys?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Going forward, I have added statistics, probability, and linear algebra. Man, statistic, probability, and linear algebra used to be the hardest courses while you were in 12th, right? Right?
Yes.
But why they used to be difficult? Because हमें पता ही नहीं था उसका use क्या है real world में, right?
Yes.
Many of us didn't even know that what metrics basically does. But while studying these concepts, if you can bring in the real life applications, then it will be very easy for you to crack them. Okay, so this is the analytical skills part. The second part comes out to be programming skills. What is there at the top of programming skills? What have I written? Excel and Google Sheets. None of you might be considering them as a part of data scientist toolbox, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But data scientist is not only a single kind of a job. So if my data is completely structured, then I might not need to go till Python, right? I can do my analysis in Excel itself. Am I correct till now? Guys, किसी ने Excel use किया है या फिर अभी तक किसी ने Excel use भी नहीं किया?
Yes.
You have used, right?
Yes.
And if your data is structured, then you can do the analysis in Excel itself.
Yes.
Correct? So Excel and Google Sheets are basically great tools to understand and build your data fluency. Okay, because mainly they are working on structured data. Now the second part is database warehousing. So again, why I went to database warehousing is that you should understand that how the data is getting stored. Okay.
Okay.
So पहले हमने ये समझ लिया कि data generate कैसे हो रहा है, right? First we understood how the data is getting generated. Now we should understand that how the data is getting stored as well.
Yes.
Okay. After that comes the query languages, SQL and SAS. So these are just the languages which pull out data from your databases. Okay. At the same point of time, you can do some simple analysis on your databases as well. So that is why SQL, SQL, SAS, these kind of languages are very good. And then comes your Python and R. Why they are coming at a later stage? Because after you can pull your data, then you would like to analyze the data, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that is why Python and R. Now, why Python and R and why not C++ or Java? Can anybody answer?
Because it can be outdated. Whereas compared to Python, it is very well simple.
Your voice is not coming very clearly. Can you speak one more time?
Yeah, where C and C++ are outdated, Python is very simple syntax, uses syntax.
Okay. So just to clarify, Vijay, okay, I also have one chat option. Strong built-in libraries. Python is easy to learn. Okay, so great. So I would argue that these are not outdated. Okay. Why they are not outdated? Because they are the core level languages, very basic level languages, and that is why they are also hard to understand.
Yeah.
Quite machine type syntaxes were there, right? So that is one of the reasons. But if you understand written in C++, so that they can produce fast results. Okay, so I won't say that those languages are outdated, but definitely the built-in support for data science in Python and R is next level.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is the reason why we generally use Python and R in data science. Now, what is this Tableau, Google Data Studio, etc.?
These are the data visualization tool.
Python and R language are optional.
Yeah. Python and R languages are
optional for data science.
Yeah, they are optional for data science, but they generally are the greatest tool for data science. Again, because of the great built-in libraries.
No, I mean to say that whether we should learn Python or R for data science.
Okay, so basically what you want to know that whether you should learn or Python or R, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would suggest go for Python. Although R is much easier to understand, but why you should go for Python is because the machine learning support and deep learning support in Python is much
Yes.
better, much better than R.
Much better than R.
Yeah, that is why.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now coming back to our Tableau, Google Data Studio, etc. So these are basically data visualization tools. Why are those required?
Because at the end level, there is the stakeholder cannot understand the big data. So you have to visualize the data in a shortest span.
Very good. So Manas has also written a similar answer, that though you have, means you become proficient in data analysis, you become proficient in, let's say, machine learning, but ultimately you will need to convey your results, right? And to convey your results, there you will need some visualization tools so that you can make some reports, so that you can make some dashboards. And that is where these tools come into picture. Okay. Now coming back again to domain knowledge. One thing which I have written is industry KPIs. KPI का full form कोई बता सकता है?
Knowledge performance indicator. Knowledge performance indicator.
Sorry.
Knowledge performance indicators or key performance indicators?
Yeah, key performance. Sorry, key performance.
Key performance indicators, right? So basically, these are your top level matrices which you would like to track and which you would like to work on, so that you can generate more profit or run your business efficiently. Okay. Then domain knowledge, again I went to optimization techniques and operations understanding. So it is very clear that if you understand the operation of a particular domain, then you will have the domain knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Right. If you understand the operations, then you will have the domain knowledge.
Yeah.
At the same point of time, I have also written optimization techniques. What could those be? Anyone? What could those be? Okay, so optimization techniques are basically the levers which you would like to pull so that you can make good changes on your KPIs. Okay, so till the time you do not explore what are the levers, optimization levers, your business will run as usual, right? So that is where optimization techniques also comes into picture. So these are basically the requirements to become a great data scientist. Okay. Now, if these are the requirements, then again we come to the same place that I was wrong. They really are aliens, because what the heck, these many techniques, these many skills you would like to get just to become a data scientist, right? Correct. But no, it's not like that. The only thing is that you will need to bring method to the madness. What do I mean by that is that while these things are, these are much overwhelming, there are many things which you will need to learn to become a great data scientist, but anything and everything can be achieved if you bring method to the madness. Okay, so we'll start with the first step. Data fluency. What is written under data fluency?
Understand data sources, performing data analysis skills, make graphs.
Okay. Others, did you hear it or do you want me to repeat it? So, okay, those are on your phones. If you are joining on your mobile phone, then I think it will be a bit hard for you to read it. So I'll just repeat it for you. That data fluency basically contains the understanding of data sources. So again, going back, that what data sources are actually there. From where will you get the data? So that is one. And then performing some basic analysis. What could I mean by performing some basic analysis? Any example? Can anybody give me any example? Guys.
Transforming to unstructured to structured.
Okay, again you went one step ahead. If I'm doing in MS Excel, then mostly I'll not worry about that. My data will be more or less structured only. Data cleaning, again you are jumping the guns, but I would say that making or performing some basic analysis in MS Excel, I simply mean that maybe you can find mean, median, mode. Okay, you can understand your population, you can understand your data set. Okay, I might be able to do, I might be understanding the parameters. I might be able to do some basic pivot tables to understand what my data is representing. Correct?
Yeah.
So that is basically the data fluency means that once you get the data, you should understand that first from where the data is getting generated. And at the same point of time, you should understand what the data is actually about and perform some simple statistical analysis. Okay, I have also written make graphs. Why I have written that? It's very easy to make graphs in Excel, right?
Yeah, graphical representation can be easily used to understand.
Yeah. So again, the same thing, that to explore your data set, it would be great if you can visualize it, right? So that is where you can make some great graphs and understand your data. Okay. Now going forward, the second step is basic programming with Python. So here I am removing R and following Python because I want to take you to the last step of machine learning. Okay. So here the second step is basic programming with Python. So what it contains, that learn Python. Okay, start interacting with the machine. Learn Python, start giving inputs to a machine, start performing operations on your input and generating new outputs. And also it's very important for you to understand programming data structures. So as some of you are already from the industry, you must be knowing what data structure is, right?
Yes.
Correct. Those who are from college and are not from CS or IT branch, so for them, just to clarify, what data structure is, that I can store information inside my programming languages in multiple forms. But I should have a good understanding that what data structure will I use to store a particular kind of information. So that is where your basic programming will come into picture. At the same point of time, it will help you to do some things like doing the loops, making some function, making some classes. Okay, everything clear till now, or anyone has any question?
Clear, sir. Fine.
Okay, but anyone else, especially college students, do you have any question? My college students are not responding. Guys, you can write on chat as well. So, okay, nobody is writing, so I'll consider that everything is fine and everything is understood till now. Okay, so first we did some data fluency exercises. Then we went to understanding the basic programming with Python. And then the next step comes out to be statistics, probability, and SQL. Okay, so I have merged statistics and probability with SQL. Why is that? Because just learning statistics and probability, doing your mean and median functions, right? It's kind of not that interesting, right?
Yes.
Right? You must have already learned statistics multiple times. Vijay, do you want to say something?
Can you repeat again?
So I just want to tell you that why I have clubbed statistics, probability in SQL is because just learning statistics and probability sometimes become very boring.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, it depends from person to person. Like I would really love to study statistics and probability at length. but for many of you, it won't be that interesting. So by combining it with SQL, you will be able to do and you will be able to run your statistical parameters and determine some inferential statistic or some summary statistics. Okay, so that is where we are clubbing statistics, probability, and SQL. Again, is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the next step is what?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I have a doubt. Like you
Yeah.
told me that we will be using something like SQL. Why not no SQL? Something like MongoDB or some other databases. Why does it have to be something SQLs?
No, so when I'm telling you SQL, that does not mean that I want you to use the Oracle wala SQL. You can either use SQLite, you can use NoSQL, you can use PostgreSQL, and when you are going to big data, then at that time you might be required to use Hadoop kind of a platform as well. The only inference I want you to draw from here is that you will need some structured query language to pull out your data from the databases. You should understand what are the schemas, okay, how to make enterprise entity relationship diagrams, what do they represent, and then take out the data from your databases and make some summary statistics out of it. Okay. Yeah. Now again we are going to understanding the business matrices. Okay, why I have kept it here is that till now you have understood that where the data is, you know the basic programming paradigm, and you understand how to retrieve the data and retrieve some summary statistics. Now if you understand the business matrices, then you can actually pull out these summary statistics and make sense out of it. Like how many of you know that what EBITDA is?
Earning before interest and tax.
Okay, that is EBIT. Okay, you need to add amortization.
Amortization.
Okay, yeah. So what these business matrices represent, how can you use them, how can you retrieve them? So if you understand now, then you can use your SQL schemas to retrieve such business matrices as well. And now our levers will be much clear to you, that what kind of levers to use to improve your top line or bottom, or to reduce your bottom line. Okay, clear to everyone till now?
Yeah, fine, sir.
Okay, now comes the big baby which everybody was expecting till now, is Python for data analysis. Okay, so first we have learned the basic Python, how Python works. Now we are learning Python for data analysis. So some of the very handy packages in Python are NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. So these packages will help you in analyzing the data, in cleaning the data, and exploring the data, and make sense out of the data. Okay. Now to give you one insight, yes, what you are doing at this step, Python for data analysis, this is going to be 80% of your job time if you become a data scientist. It's a hell lot of job to first get the data and understand it, then clean it, structure it, and finally explore it. It's a hell lot of job. Okay, so generally what happens, 80% of data scientists' time is going in cleaning and exploring the data. Okay, so although there is a lot of buzz about machine learning algorithms, but this is a very crucial step, and many people do skip this step. But this is the step which will basically bridge yourself from going and becoming a great data scientist. Okay, then at the last we go to machine learning. Okay, how to focus on machine learning is that don't jump into coding the machine learning algorithms. Don't ever do that. Even if when you are starting with basic Python programming, start with pseudocodes, start with some coding on your pen and paper. and then go to your coding, because you are trained to understand what you are writing in a copy or on a paper. Okay, so it will be much easier for you to convert that into a syntax of a programming language. Okay, so Varun has a question that where does Tableau and BI comes into picture? Great question, Varun. I had actually missed it. But when I was telling you that you need to analyze the data, you need to clean the data, and you need to explore the data, that time itself it will come into picture. So here it is written communication and visualization. So here itself you might want to clean the data, then make some graphs, and again let's say transform one column of the data and again use it for your machine learning algorithms. So it might not be making perfect sense to you, but what I can say, let's say you have a population wherein you know the salaries of your data set. Okay. Now, when I'm plotting a histogram of my salaries, it might happen that my average is coming much higher than my median. Understood क्या? समझ में आ रहा है सबको मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Median, mean.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it could easily happen that my data is skewed, and that is why my mean is coming much higher than my median. So in that sense, what you will do, first you will visualize the data, you will plot a histogram. Now you know that your data is skewed. Now you will normalize or transform your data. Let's say you are putting it in a log function so that you can normalize the data. Okay, so these are some of the tricks wherein you will also need visualization tool. At the same time, you will also need data exploration and data cleaning tools. Okay, guys. And here, Tableau and Power BI will come into picture. Actually, Python libraries are much superior in terms of making visualization. But again, one more thing is that you will need to provide all the parameters because you are working on a language. However, when you are using Tableau or Power BI or your Google Data Studio kind of tools, then these tools are very simple for making visualization, and great visualizations, by the way. So that is why to spend a lot of time in Seaborn or Matplotlib when you can easily do it on Tableau or Power BI. Okay, ultimately you want to effectively communicate, right? Right. So that is where it comes into picture. So again, going back to our top step, the machine learning part. So again, what I told you before, that first understand the algorithms. How do they work? What is the maths behind that algorithm? And then start coding it, start making the models, but your process will not finish when you make the model. Your process will finish when you also fine tune the models and your model reaches a certain level of accuracy. Okay, so some of these terms might not be very clear to you, but when you go till the step of machine learning, you will get to know all these things. Now, this is basically what I meant by method to the madness. But at the same point of time, till now also it's quite overwhelming, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. There are many tools, there are many things to learn. But now I'll give you an example. You all have been a math student?
Yes.
Guys, all of you are from math stream, right?
Yeah, sir.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Now, when did you first started using vectors or matrices? Which class?
Plus two.
11th standard.
11th standard.
11th.
11th standard. Okay. So, okay, I started learning about matrices, very easy kind of matrices in 10th. Okay. I actually got to know a lot about matrices when I went into college. Then I got to know that why I was learning matrices at the first place. Okay. So the way you have learned maths, that is how you should target data science as well. And what that way is actually that you started with some basic concept, then you have built up those concepts, right? You started with some very basic concepts like your algebra, quadratic equations,
Yes.
right? Then you built up on it. You started going from quadratic to cubic equations to polynomial equations. Correct, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Then you went to the fact to integration and differentiation, right? All the while, when you went till integration and differentiation, you were still solving quadratic equations, right? So that is how you should work on data science as well. That start with data fluency, but when you reach your Python programming stage, you should not skip Python programming when you are doing these two steps. Okay. So that way, what you will do that you are learning some new things, but then too your basics and your foundation will still be strong. How can you do it? Can anyone give an example? Anyone, guys? How can you go to upper stages without compromising on the lower stage? Okay. Again, going back to maths. Okay. How did you learn maths? Did you learn math by reading a lot?
Problem solving skills.
Problem solving, right? You cannot learn mathematics just by reading a book. You will need to solve problems, right? Guys, हाँ ना कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा, ऊपर से निकल गया क्या हुआ? Right? So you learned maths by solving a lot and lot of problems. I still remember my R.D. Sharma book. Right? So similarly, when you are learning data science, if you are just learning and completing steps, you'll not be able to become a good data scientist. And that is why you will need to solve a lot of problems while you are learning data science. How can you solve those problems is by doing projects, the live projects. So I have mentioned at the bottom that what are the resources where you can get such projects. So if I just want some basic projects on data fluency, I can get some data sets from Google and do something on it in Excel itself. When I'm learning Python, I can use resources like CodingBat, etc. to solve a lot of programs and to make a lot of programs. Going to SQL, I can use Azure database to run some queries on my online databases. And then I can actually connect SQL and Python and do some more operations on it. So I'm still using Python and I'm also using SQL. Going back to case studies. To understand the business matrices, I'll have to go through some of the case studies. Again, I'll understand the case studies, I'll understand its database, I'll use SQL and I'll use Python as well to do some operations on it. Then when we are going to Python for data analysis, when we are learning SQL, when we are learning NumPy, Pandas and Matplotlib, then our heavy hands like Kaggle come into picture. So they can give us a lot of examples. They can give us a lot of live projects.
Can you explain what is Kaggle?
Kaggle is basically a platform where there are multiple data sets and multiple problem statements. You can go there and you can download their data sets and do some data cleaning, data operations, and even machine learning problems.
It's a data science community.
I think it's the biggest data science community of the world.
Yes.
At the same point of time, it's not only giving you the data sets, their resources are also very good. At the same point of time, their discussion forum is also very good. So you will also get to know that how to start your problem, how to explore your data. Okay.
Yes.
So that is where Kaggle come into picture. Then we are actually working on machine learning. Then we can use the Kaggle data sets as well as there is also a very good repository of UCI machine learning repository. So basically it's a university in US which has a very good some very good data sets on which you can make and on which you can train your algorithms. So that is how you should learn, so that you can actually keep your foundation strong and you keep moving up and up. Okay, still it's kind of overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
many courses, so many things
Yes,
you need
yes.
to complete. Here comes the role of a great mentor. So a great mentor, like someone who is already working in industry, he can guide you in a way that nobody else can. So try to find a mentor. He will support you with your doubts. He will support you with, let's say, installing SQL to your PC. He will support you with connecting your SQL to server. Okay. At the same point of time, one thing which I really like about having a mentor is that he will provide you the required motivation. Okay.
Yes.
Starting something is very easy. Taking it till the end is very difficult. So he will provide you the required motivation, and he will provide you all the push and pulls to take you to the success.
Yes.
Okay. So try to find a mentor who can help you with that. Okay. So this is how basically you can become a great data scientist. Okay. So just to clarify that you all know that we are from Moonshot, right? So how Moonshot can help you? So we are actually an active talent partner. We are not like an online e-learning course where we have given you the content and you just have to finish the lessons. That is a very hard approach for learning data science. So we are active learning partner. We will provide you handholding from start till the end. And our program is not to impart knowledge. Our program is designed not to just impart knowledge. Our program is designed to get you a job. Okay. So one thing is very clear, that we just need your intent. We don't need your programming experience. Our program, how it is unique is because it is designed by industry experts. So while I was telling you all this, okay, this came to me because I have already worked in that industry. So that is where a good program come into picture, because it is designed by industry experts to get you a job. Now we understood that we need some good mentors, right? Our coaches, our mentors are from companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Walmart Labs. They will be actually solving your doubts. They will be actually taking your coach sessions, and they will be motivating you to finish your assignments, to finish your lessons, and to reach the success. The program is completely hands-on. Mostly from the first session itself, you will be starting coding on Jupyter notebooks on Python. Now, the very important feature is that our program provides you a job, and you have to pay. There are multiple flexible payment options, and you have to. There is one option of signing an income share agreement, wherein you have to pay us only if we get you a job. So this is how Moonshot can also help you. If you are interested, then you can register on our website, www.themoonshot.in. There will be an assessment test. You can give that assessment and start training with us. Again, our program is not to just impart knowledge to you. Our program is to get you a job. So that is why a very basic, very important step for every one of us is that we get you a job. So, okay, guys, now if you have any questions, you can ask.
Sir, what is the program duration and fee structure?
Okay, so program duration is 6 to 8 months. Okay, it's not fixed, because many college students are also there. Someone like you is also there. So program duration is 6 to 8 months. But the fees you were asking, so fees is there are two payment options. One is that you can pay monthly, like you are paying till now, and that is 7,999 per month till the time you are with us. Or you can choose the second option, wherein you have to pay only if we get you a job of 4.5 lakhs or more.
Okay.
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 And your payment will also start when you start receiving your second salary.
Okay.
Okay. There are some messages on my chat. I am in my 6th sem currently. Can I join? Definitely, Varun. You can join, because our program is also designed, means our program is designed for both working professionals and college students. Komal, can you explain which link are you talking about?
Whether it is a purely online program or what's the?
Yes, it's purely online program. That is why you can complete it while doing your job.
Okay.
So weekday classes will be scheduled between 7 to 9. Okay, so
Okay.
that you can come to your come from your office and attend the classes. And on weekends we'll again schedule some classes based on your schedule and your coaches or mentor schedule.
So you told about the assessment, whether we have to pay any fee for the assessment?
No. The assessment is completely free, and it's
Okay.
quite interesting as well. Do try it.
Yeah.
You will find it very interesting, because it will also tells you there is a part wherein you have to give the introduction, and it will also tell you that how confident you are while giving the introduction. Try it. You will find it really interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So Komal is asking about the link of the program and training. So Komal, I'm just typing on my chat box. The link is actually the moonshot.in. www.themoonshot.in. Okay. So
Sir, may I know? You told that after getting the job, we have to pay.
correct.
But may I know what is the total amount we should pay for this?
Okay. So because you are paying us only after getting a job, that is why your payment is not fixed actually. Okay. So it's basically 14% of your monthly salary, and it can go up to 2 years. So that is the maximum limit till what it can go.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that is how, means, because we want to give all the flexibilities in the world to you. So that is why we have made the payment in such a way that you can pay us after getting and receiving your salaries.
Can you tell me how ETL tool is important in data science?
ETL tool?
Yes.
ETL, can you explain me what do you mean by ETL?
Extract, transform, load. Are you using a ClickView? You know about the ClickView?
Yeah, I know about ClickView.
So basically, it's a visualization tool.
Visualization
tool. Yeah. It's operated ETL tool also.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know that.
So ETL tool, what does that mean is that ETL tool will also extract the information for you. So ClickView, what it does, it's also quite similar to Tableau. But in Tableau, what you have to do is you have to first make your data workflow. That let's say from your SQL server, you will connect the Tableau, and then you will get the visualization. Similarly, in ClickView also, you must be connecting it to your database, right? And then you are getting all the visualization and all your analysis. In some of the summary statistic also you can find out on ClickView itself. So these kind of things you can do. So it's one and the same. Like SQL, the only difference I would say between ClickView and Tableau is that Tableau is much simpler to understand. You can make many interesting graphics on Tableau which you cannot make on ClickView, and the compatibility with other data sources is much higher in Tableau. Like you can connect with your AWS servers, you can connect with other SQL engines. All this you can do. Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions, guys?
Hi. Actually, question. I'll be graduating in another one and a half months, sir. Because of this COVID-19, our exam was spot.
Yeah.
So being a fresher, so I went through a few of the Quoras. People that industry, a prior industry experience is must to get into field like data science. So even when you were telling all about the KPI, all the stuff.
Correct.
So right now for a fresher, is it a right fit? I mean, will that be a right fit for me? Is what I'm asking.
So there are always some steps involved, right? You will not become the CEO of a company directly after graduating from colleges, right?
Yes.
So that is the same way with the data scientists as well. So you might be able to join a company as data analyst or even as a junior data scientist.
Okay.
Then as you perform, as you learn more and more new things, then you will progress and you will become, and basically don't think of that right now, because what will happen is that going through such a journey is really empowering and really powerful. Means if you start something like that, if you start studying right now, it will be much powerful and it will make you a great data scientist rather than someone who is just directly going to data scientist because he knew SQL or he knew Python.
Okay. No, because why I was asking this question, because I got an offer from one of the companies in my so I was actually quite passionate about machine learning and all this stuff. And then when I came across my data science, there were a lot of options for me. So, but now should I accept the offer that is from the company, or should I jump into the data science?
So your offer is in which field?
A Python developer.
Python developer. So actually it is up to you that what you want to do. But even if you think that you need a job right now, then you can actually accept the job and simultaneously work on becoming a data scientist as well. Okay. So I won't deny the fact that because you got the job, then you should just reject it because you want to do something else, because it's taking you in the same direction, right? While becoming a Python developer also, you will be learning a lot about Python. So that will also help you with becoming a good data scientist.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's why. Okay, guys. Any more questions? Anyone, guys? Any questions? It could even be on something which is not completely related to data science.
Yeah, Tanmay, Manas here.
Yeah, Manas.
So I'm working, I will complete 1 year of experience in Wipro, so around July. So I started off as a QA analyst, quality assurance.
Correct.
So it's nowhere related to data science, but I wanted to, switch into data science as soon as possible. I've started to learn as much as possible, but how do you think this switch would go over? Because the companies would require experience, right? Even for a entry level data science, at least 1 year of similar role or something like. So what should I do?
I would suggest that go on Kaggle, start doing projects, and there is a global rank on Kaggle. So start improving your rank on Kaggle. So Kaggle is some platform which can give you the real life experience which you might get by working in a company as a data scientist.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, I'll tell you the same thing, that try to find a mentor. It's very hard because the process is quite overwhelming. You will have to do a lot of things. You have to learn a lot of things. So I definitely feel that having a mentor actually guides really well and really takes you to the path to success.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah, Jaideep. Joydeep.
So actually, I don't have any idea about the data science. Now, may I ask you a question? Actually, I don't know whether my questions will be meaningful or not, but I should tell you.
Frank, ask whatever you want to know.
What is the difference between data science and data scientist?
Data science and data scientist. It's basically the same difference as statistics and a statistician. Okay. What do I mean by that is, data science is what you learn to become data scientist. Okay, so data scientist is basically a role which you get inside a company or inside an organization. But data science is the basic learning block and basic building block for all data scientists.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Guys, any more questions for me?
Sir, I was quite lacking in mathematical skills. Is there
Vijay, your voice is not very clear. Could you please bring your headphone to your close to your mouth?
Yeah, sure. Sir, is there any prerequisite needed, sir? Like good knowledge in program?
There is no actually prerequisite, Vijay. Again, I'll go back to the slide that we just need intent from your side.
Yeah.
Okay. No prerequisite regarding programming or no prerequisite regarding maths, because we'll be taking care of all that. We need intent from your side, and we need you to give the assessment test and clear the assessment test. That's it.
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay. Guys, any more questions?
The duration that you mentioned, somewhere close to 6 to 8 months, sir.
Yeah.
Is that period, I mean, is enough to master these things? I mean, master in the sense, not completely know everything in it. I'm in general terms, I'm asking. Is that period enough to learn all these concepts? Is my question, because there are a lot of concepts, no?
There are a lot of concepts, but we will keep you on your toes. So our program is quite means there is a lot of content, there is a lot of commitment required, but I don't think that is a problem. Why that is not a problem? Because being difficult is something which will lead you to success. Everything which is quite interesting and everything which pays you well will definitely be difficult, right? Nobody will pay you really well for doing a simple job, right?
Yes.
So though our program is quite how to say that our program covers a lot of topics, but you can do it, and that is why we have kept it as a flexible timing of 6 to 8 months, so that even if you cannot do it in 6 months, we'll not just finish your program. You will still be getting more assignments. You will still be getting we also have training on soft skills. It's not only about technical skills. We also train you for interviews. We also train you for finding a good job.
Okay.
Right? How to find a good opportunity in the market. We also train you for that. So these kind of things will take you further, will get you more, will get you more face-to-face interaction or face-to-face mock interviews with multiple company HRs, so that you can actually trump your job. Okay. So that is how it is. Okay, guys, any more questions? So, okay, guys, it was really, really great talking to you. Thanks for coming and thanks for joining the session. So we'll finish off the session here. All those who are interested, please check out themoonshot.in. You will find some really good assessment over there. If you are really interested in the field of data science and to learn data science, then give the assessment test and try to onboard Moonshot. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It was very overwhelming. Thank you.
Thank you.